Bitcoin is like dancing around, and all I want to know is, can we get much higher? So high. Can we get much higher?
I love it.
Can we get much higher?
I bet.
Hey, what it do, Kris?
Yes, sir. Back at it again, dude. For a second, dude, I thought you glitched out, and I was just like, "What is going on?" But I'm glad you came back because I thought we were having like a cyber attack or something going on. But yeah, man,
No,
Bitcoin's
no
doing.
glitch. I actually was just holding that pose like this,
Yeah,
just to get everybody ready for the hype music, trying to get that chart pushed up to the top. That's what we do here at the Verse, man. We are the reason why Bitcoin tops. What's up, Kris?
absolutely, man. You know what? We're Neo in the Matrix. We're just doing stuff, predicting things, giving you guys the best gems, and absolutely crushing it. So today, guys, we got another awesome live stream. And if you guys could do us a quick favor, smash that like button, get us up in the algorithm, and also retweet this entire live stream because we're going to be talking about some really interesting things. We got TitanX, we got stuff going on the market, and I'm going to get into a lot of charts today because I know I haven't covered a lot of projects because we get into the high level conceptual stuff and we nerd out for a minute. So this is going to be a really great live stream, and I'm really excited to talk about today. But before we get everyone into the live stream, I got to ask you a question, man. Bitcoin at 79K, how's it feel?
79K. Don't lie to me.
What was it, 79K?
Did you say 79K?
Oh, I'm sorry, 69K. 69. I'm sorry. I was off by 10 grand.
All I want to know is, can we get much higher, baby? Come on, it's flirting with me. And I don't like flirting. If you know me, you know Tree. I'm an LP5. I don't flirt. I go straight for the kill. And this thing is just dancing around in uncertainty. But you know what? As longer this thing trades sideways, I do believe we're waiting for that violent pump. So you know what? I'm not too mad about it. But you know what? I don't like being teased.
You and me both, man. And I think the big thing we're waiting for is liquidity to hit the market. And I know we got a lot of events coming up. I'm not trying to get a shadow ban and basically get us pushed back on the algorithm, but there's a good chance that with the foreseeable events, we're going to see a lot of money hit the market. And when that money hits the market, digital assets are going to be the biggest thing because we finally have government officials coming out supporting a lot of these assets. We're seeing a lot of these lawsuits get rolled back. We're waiting for the lawsuit to get rolled back versus Richard Hart. And, you know, honestly, man, really, really excited, extremely stoked to see how this plays out. So good stuff. Now, let's get into TitanX, dude, because we've been getting a lot of questions about what's the best project to get into when it comes to TitanX. And to be honest with you guys, I just want to make something clear. We're not financial advisors. We don't recommend certain projects. We tell you guys about the stuff that we're researching, and we share our entire journey with you. But the one thing I want to really break down today is the impact of TitanX projects on the entire ecosystem, because I see a lot of really great stuff on Twitter, but I have yet to see someone sit down and talk about Hart's Law, how this impacts the TitanX token. What is TitanX designed to be? I get the number go up technology, but this is something a little bit more when it comes to launching projects. Trey Souls, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, man. I mean, we don't want to be coming out of left field with this. This is serious stuff that goes a little bit deeper than number go up. And so today is like it's a master class. It's like a hand-holding session that we leading you, right? We're just leading you to the information. And then you yourself as an adult who no longer wears Depends and diapers until you're 70, until a few more years, but you don't wear diapers anymore and you don't need us to wipe your butt. So the goal is to get you here, to get you educated, and then lead you right along on your way. That's what I'm excited to do today. So let us wait no longer and jump right in.
Yes, sir. So great explanation. Now, I'm just going to draw this out just so all you guys understand, because it seems like every time I draw these diagrams and these pictures and these Picassos, it really clicks well with people rather than us just sit here and just say it over and over for like an hour straight. So we have the TitanX token right here. So I'm just going to say TITX. I'm not going to write that out. So this is TitanX right here. Now, actually, that's actually kind of bothering me, man. Sorry, I have really bad OCD, man. Titan. That's a little bit better. All right, so you got TitanX right here. Now, under TitanX, you're going to have multiple altcoin projects. And so one of those projects is going to be DragonX, which I'm just going to do DBX. You're going to have Helios. I hope I spelled that right.
Got it. You got it.
And then the next one, what was it? Blaze? Yeah, Blaze. And then I believe there's also a Memecoin and a couple other projects, but we'll just stick with these three. Now, each of these projects, right across the board, Blaze, DragonX, and Helios, they have an LP with TitanX. So, for example, you will have a liquidity pool where you have Helios, and I'm just going to put HEL, Helios, and then you're going to have TitanX. So, why is this important? Because all the projects have this liquidity pool. It's the LP. The reason why this is important is as the value of TitanX goes up, the value of Blaze will go up. The value of DragonX will go up. Hold on, did I just glitch out? Yo.
Yeah, you're gone for a second.
Hold on. Let me see if I can. Am I still here? Hello?
I'm still here.
Okay. I lost control of my computer, so I'm good. One sec.
Well, folks, while Kris gets this here straightened out, it'd be a great time to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on bell notifications. You might even share it over there to your Twitter page. Love that there Twitter page. I saw a good post by Jake saying that Twitter is one of the best ways you can possibly get reach, work for your own bags, man. Awesome stuff. Anyone can just tweet something out and boom, it hits 5, 10, 15, 20, 50,000 heads of people that know about crypto talking about your topic. So don't underestimate the power of X. Kris, have we lost you completely here?
Yeah.
We got you?
No, you lost me. I might have to log out, come back in real quick.
Okay, sounds good, bro. No worries, no worries. In the meantime, if anybody wants to ask a question, put it over there in the comments and I won't answer it, but I will make sure it gets answered. See what we got? Nothing. Nothing, bro. Nothing. Damien said that the deep state found Kris. We don't know what that is. What's the deep state? We like Bitcoin and Biden. That's it. B Square Network. Bitcoin and Biden. That's it. He said he said that he said he would fire Gary Gensler, I think. said Gary Gensler, dude. How bullish is that? Man, I mean, one thing. Oh, let's see. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yes, we love Kamala. We love Gensler on this channel. My question is for you. One thing, okay, so everybody's freaking about crypto and Trump being on the crypto card, but then they say only what, like 1% of Americans use crypto? Does that make sense? What's going on? What's really the play there? Sorry, I had to take these glasses off because I can't see anything with this glare. Let's see. What does anybody have any speculation? Any speculation as to why they think that crypto is so big? So big for the ticket for Trump? Interesting. Mass adoption. So the goal is to finally make crypto cool again. Is that what you're saying, JL? Rayman? Making crypto cool. The play is to get it before it's a strategic reserve. I like that, D. I mean, that's exactly what we've been saying all along, but to get into this thing while it's low and while these things are down, looking bearish, and pointing these things out when they're red candling instead of green candling. But even so, uh, it seems like this thing is getting ready to blow up. What's the craziest Bitcoin predictions that some of you think you might have for what this is going to do? If you really think that the president is going to embrace this, I mean, what? Let's talk moon math. What do you think? 1.5% of all 401ks could be invested in the trillions. BitBoy said today the strategic reserve is a that BitBoy. That I'm gonna be looking at maybe doing the opposite of what BitBoy said. He's looking scary to me. BitBoy's looking scary. Let's see. We got Gary. Oh no, Gary Gensler's in here now.
Oh, for
Gary,
real?
Gary, we didn't mean that. We said we love Gary Gensler and we love Kamala and Bitcoin and Biden. Globally, let's see what we got. Okay. Oh, globally. Okay, I see what you're saying, Jay. I see what you're saying. Okay, now we got it. We got the tech guy back. All right. No longer have to sit here listening to me try to stall. That's what I thought. Sorry, Gary. My bad. Put me back in my place, dog.
Yeah, just give me one second. Let me put that up. Sorry about that. I don't know what just happened, dude. Like my computer just froze. I don't know what that's never happened before. So I don't know if we upset somebody or something like popped off or whatnot. So cool. So I'm gonna pull up my chart again and then we'll just run it back. Sorry about that, guys.
We were talking about. I asked the question. We got Trump. He's super bullish on Bitcoin, but they say only 1% of Americans use Bitcoin. So the speculation was that it's getting ready to have mass adoption, and crypto's going to be cool again, bro.
Yeah, well, this live stream's about to get taken down if you said that. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. But
Well,
yeah,
it's already
that's
under
good.
attack now.
We good right now?
Yeah. Yeah, we're good.
Okay. All right, cool. Cool. Dang. All right, that was wild. All right, so let's go back to my explanation before we had a little glitch out of the matrix. So, God, why is that so big? All right, so TitanX right here. TitanX is going to be the main part of this ecosystem, and this is going to signal a token. And these little lines right here are going to be our LPs. Now we have Helios, and I believe the ticker for that one is HELX. And then Dragon X, which I'm not gonna write all that out. That's D. I'm gonna put it as DPX for abbreviation. And then we got Blaze. And then there's a couple of other projects. Actually, I'll put Hyper in here because Jake launched Hyper, so we'll pull it Hyper right here. Now, here's the important part about TitanX. And after this live stream, you guys are gonna really understand the power behind what's being built right now. So each of these pairings, so these lines right here are all LPs. And in order to buy one token, you have to purchase TitanX to purchase said token. So the gateway of entry to get Hyper is through TitanX. The gateway to get Blaze, Dragon X, and Helios is through TitanX. So if the value of TitanX goes up like this, the value of Helios, Dragon X, Blaze, and Hyper is going to follow suit. This is called Hart's Law. This is the main concept behind it. Now, what's special about these projects and what TitanX is doing? TitanX set a standard. If you come into this ecosystem, it is beneficial for you to find a way to burn the TitanX token and also build a really innovative protocol that people get excited about. And this is what we're seeing with this entire ecosystem. So Hyper, Blaze, DragonX, and Helios in some function burn TitanX within the ecosystem, which causes the supply of TitanX to go down and the overall price to appreciate. So let's say DragonX. So 369 comes around, right? And so right around 369, the DragonX protocol is going to get a bunch of Ethereum. What's going to happen with that Ethereum is a bunch of TitanX is going to get bought up, staked, and then a bunch of it's also going to be used to buy and burn the DragonX token. If a bunch of TitanX is removed from the market, removed from circulation, meaning there's a tiny supply, this is going to impact Helios and Blaze and Hyper at the same time. Does this make sense?
Yes, it does. Everything is tied together through these LPs, all serving the same purpose.
Exactly. So I put out a tweet the other day. I said TitanX has cool projects. And they all revolve around burning TitanX. So the real question is it competition or is it cooperation? What do you think?
I mean, honestly, at this point, I think it's cooperation with the way that Hart's Law works, because you're saying that Ethereum will get staked when a day 369 comes around for the Dragon X protocol. So that's going to stake. They're going to stake that ETH, and that's going to that's going to take more Titan X off of the market,
No,
increasing the
no,
Titan X price.
no. They're gonna. So that Ethereum's gonna buy TitanX and stake TitanX.
Okay, so yeah, buy TitanX, stake TitanX. So it's going to increase the price and then create scarcity, and then that's also going to help Blaze. That's going to help Hyper. So there's no way that's competition. It's just synergy.
Exactly. That's the main point. So when I hear people come into my Telegram, or excuse me, our Telegram, and come into and hit us up on Twitter, and they say which project is the best, or which one should I do, or what should I get into here? Let me do something real quick. Remove this. That's a little bit better. So
Boom.
so I don't know. For some reason, I like you on that side and me on
Yeah,
this side.
better. This is right.
So when people come and say, "Hey, which one should I do, or what should I do this?" and we're not financial advisors, and this is a common question. So I want to do a live, like I want to address this real quickly. There's going to be the base protocols that launch here, and then they're going to play some sort of functionality into a new protocol Jake is going to launch very soon. That's going to revolve around burning these projects. And then we're going to get hundreds of projects after this once the TitanX ecosystem starts blowing up. The one thing I suggest is, number one, in some form of fashion, get some sort of position in TitanX. Number two, dabble a little bit with Hyper. And then number three, look at Blaze, look at DragonX, look at Helios, look at all these other protocols and mess around with a protocol that you really enjoy. You don't have to get into every single project. Full disclosure, we are in every single project because we do support all the projects. But the point I'm trying to get across is you don't need to spread yourself too thin unless you just want to get in and be a TitanX master and just be in this ecosystem. Me and Trey Souls, we're on different blockchains. We're meme coining. We're getting into PDI. We're researching AI. We are doing so much in this space, and we're also getting into technical analysis. We can't do everything. And I guarantee you, when the TitanX ecosystem blows up, there are going to be guys that are basically TitanX gurus that understand the ins and outs and mechanics of this ecosystem. And that gives an opportunity for anybody to step up and really just hone into this ecosystem. On top of that, you're also going to see the rise of a lot of these projects. One thing I saw was Eric from Dragon X. He's doing his own live stream. The Blaze team is doing their own live stream. I guarantee you Jake is going to start live streaming. They're all using the Rich Hart method. Put out the project protocol, build a community, live stream for marketing, and just take it off and let this thing take off. So the main point I'm trying to get across is get your basics covered, and then when you get it into these new projects and altcoins, pick one that you really like, become a master of it, understand how it goes, and just go for it, man. So any thoughts on that?
Yeah, the whole point is just in one facet or another, participate because you've got the real OGs of the system that are creating and laying out a foundation for, like, listen closely here. Kris said hundreds of projects will be building on top of these projects further on down the road. So now you got to understand that you're still early. We're 1 year in. Well, I'm not even 1 year yet. Getting close to day 280, as you see for the thumbnail that you guys probably love today because it was a super positive thumbnail. So let me know in the comments down below how you guys like that thumbnail. But yeah, the goal is just to participate, get in somewhere where you feel comfortable. If that is something that you want to do, if you want to get in. So, but like you said, do one with the protocol that you feel comfortable with. There's several protocols that you can interact with, see what works best for you, and like you said, there's opportunity there. Dig in, laser focus on one of them, check it out. Maybe you might be the next TitanX master.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's going to come a time where we have so many projects that there's going to be a phenomenal space for influencers to come in and just talk about these projects, look what's going on, and look at the game theory. Because ultimately, right now, we're in this meme coin speculation component, and pretty soon we'll start facing back into these store value projects, and it's playing out a little bit similar to what happened in 2020. It's a little bit of things rhyme, they don't repeat, they rhyme. And I really do see that when we start getting towards the utility phase of this bull market, whether it's a real world asset run or just like a store, well, technically this is DeFi, but I like to call this like a store value run. That's when we're going to see things getting built up. And just to give you guys an example of the excitement behind this ecosystem, and this is the one last thing I'll mention before we move on and look at TitanX Analytics. The Blaze team just launched a Infernal meme token. And to be honest with you guys, I don't know the mechanics. I haven't dove into it because, like I said, we don't have too much time, but it's being built on top of Blaze. And on top of that, we're going to have X28 coming out very soon. So X28, which I do know that's going to play into TitanX. And then there's going to be a secret project that's going to tie all these projects together. And it's going to be a big old question mark. And there's going to be some name. I know Ray OX. He's probably in the chat. He probably knows the name. I keep forgetting it. But there's going to be this super duper secret project. And once you start to see this stuff build out and see more and more projects come to fruition, honestly, dude, this thing's going to be a beast. You're just in the inflationary phase. Just wait for the deflationary phase. I'm telling you, it's going to come really fast. It's going to shock a lot of people. And all the people that were talking trash about TitanX, attacking me, attacking Jake, attacking Trey, attacking all my friends about this, they're going to shut their mouth like they did with PDI, because when PDI started exploding, nobody had anything to say. They all ran into their little rat holes, didn't say a word, and then wait for a 10% dip to come out and then start getting all emotional and crazy. It's the same exact thing I see happening with TitanX. And by the time that happens, we'll be off to greener pastures and their opinion is not going to be relevant. So, like I said, guys, really exciting stuff. Anything on that, Trey?
Yeah, man, I love it. I mean, you just described it as like it's a machine, and that's what DeFi should be. It should be an autonomous machine that can be built and then can be left to innovate on top of. And I think that's what the whole point with Bitcoin was in the beginning, but it was just basically a Nokia phone. And now we're seeing real DeFi be built. And if it didn't get hated on in the beginning, I would be skeptical about it being something that's going to be viable for the future. But we're looking at the future cryptocurrencies that the country is going to adopt. We're starting to see a major adoption of cryptocurrency or just the idea of cryptocurrency. Do you not think that the protocols that are going to live on into the future are not being established now? I think that they are, and I think that some of the most decentralized and robust ones are the ones we discuss here on the verse. So, I mean, now is the time. Like you said, it's inflationary period to where hyper deflationary. So it's a no brainer in my opinion.
Good stuff. All right. Well, let's move on to the next thing. So we got to talk about some TitanX Analytics, and this is going to be extremely important because we're about to get to day 280, and this is going to be the main component of what to expect with a bunch of stuff coming up. So we're at day 276. What's that add up to? 15 days of 15 day, 15 in TitanX days. It's kind of funny. Now, as of right now, we have over 264,000 miners started. That's pretty crazy. I don't think that's 264,000 different people because I know a lot of people did like 50 miners at once or something crazy. And overall, the ETH cost of all miners is 50,000 ETH. Wow, 50,000 ETH went to this protocol. That's pretty crazy. All right, coming down here, let's just take a look at the TitanX future supply. So shout out to Mike Dean. He's the one who put this out here. We have the 14 days, the 30 days, the 90 days. I just want to talk. I want to start here with the future supply and onward. So we're basically seeing this really big green, this big blue histogram right here. This is actually going to be coming on. Was that Saturday?
That's 6 days from now.
Yeah, so I guess you can claim on Saturday or yeah, Saturday. So 6 days from now, you can come in and claim this. Now, from this histogram, you see this massive drop, and then we got another big claim the following day, and then another big claim the following day, and then finally, I believe on sometime on Tuesday, Wednesday on the 6th, we're gonna see it just slowly slope down. And then a better way to do this is just show you guys the 90-day supply just right here. Big histogram, and then boom, drop. Now, the reason why this is important is because right around 9 to 10% of the TitanX supply is going to hit the market that day. There's multiple scenarios where things could happen. You know, some people might decide to just get out and take profit. Some people might decide to just hodl and chill. And then some people, which I'm predicting is going to be a fair percentage. This is a prediction. I could be wrong. Some of these people will decide not to claim whatsoever because they don't think it's worth staying to the protocol, which it is what it is. So I think the main point I'm trying to say is, number one, this is a big faith test. Number two, this is the largest amount of the token supply being minted going on to the future. And then number three, this is the start of a potential countdown to when TitanX goes deflationary. So, in my opinion, it's going to be really, really crazy. And, you know, what I do expect is, you know, some price movement, some volatility. And then after that, once the markets settle, we'll start moving into inflationary phase. Any thoughts on that, man?
Yeah, we're at an inflection point, and either we're going to be right about the fact that this thing goes hyper deflationary pretty quick, or we're going to be wrong. And then we'll tell you, oh, we were wrong. But I'm excited. I don't know about
Yeah,
you. Are you excited?
bro. I'm so stoked, man. I'm so stoked because I I don't think it's going to go hyper deflationary right away per se.
Right.
I think you gotta really monitor the catalyst. And so what I'm excited for is when the catalyst kick in and then we start to see it going. Because like think about this. Remember when hyper kicked, when the hyper buy and burn kicked in and hyper TitanX was being swapped for hyper, and we saw hyper do what was it, like a 10x or something,
Mm-hmm.
or 20x from the bottom. So if I remember correctly, did I say I have it on the chart? It was right around September 18th or 19th. The hyper ETH kicks in, starts buying some more up. Then the Blaze stuff kicks in. Then the Helios stuff kicks in. And then right around October 31st, we see day 369 where DragonX and the Helios benevolent staking whale comes in and buys a bunch of TitanX off the market. So right there, you've got about 5 or 6 catalysts. And wait. But there's more. We got the launch of X28, and we got a launch of another project that Jake Sharp is putting out, and we got the launch of Pulsar. So that's like almost 10 to 11 catalysts. Just think about that, dude.
It's like Easter eggs everywhere. And these Easter eggs are just narrative and just huge events for us to grab and be in place and prepared for. So if you haven't seen the last TitanX stream, go back and look at these dates because we're talking about there's lots of dates that these catalysts are going to be taking place on that you need to be prepared for. So go get prepared. If there's anything my grandmother taught me in life, it was to be prepared.
Yeah, I agree, man. My man. Yeah, so some things to expect, and I just want to plot this out real quick. Well, say it out, not plot it. But so we get into the third, that's about 11 trillion tokens that hit the market. Next day is about 4 trillion. And then the fifth is going to be about 1 trillion. And then on the sixth, we drop down to about 428 billion. So half a trillion. And then from there, it just starts to decrease. We have a few big days. And so once we hit day 280, the next big day, I want to point out to you guys. So we're always thinking ahead, is going to be September 15th, 2024. So if you guys just take a look at this chart. All right, I might have zoomed in a tad bit. Let's see. Actually, no, this actually looks pretty good. I like this.
Hey, yeah, it does.
So if you guys just take a look at this chart right here, from day 280, we're not going to have much supply to hit the entire market. You can kind of see the bottom of my line right here. Not that much supply is going to hit. And then we're going to get a gradual buildup to right around September 15th. And then right after that, we're going to start to see the launch of the Ethereum from Hyper that's going to be used to buy TitanX and basically Ethereum to TitanX. And then from TitanX, it's going to swap into Hyper and burn Hyper. So it's going to take that monetary value into the ecosystem. And a lot of TitanX is going to get bought and burnt up right after the next big day on September 15th. And so, in my opinion, September 15th, that is going to be the second biggest date right after TitanX, because from there, as we start to go down, you start to see the supply go down exponentially. You can already see these little histograms. So when this goes away, all of this down here is going to pop up very quickly right in your face. And you're going to be able to see that it's going to be this nice little steep hill going down all the way up until I guess 200 day. Is this 280 days out? Yeah. So yeah, man. Any thoughts on that?
I was just curious. I was just wondering, like, how long did it take you to figure out what Jake had built? Because knowing that there's so many protocols on them, and then even thinking about the fact that, like, one of them's called Blaze. I mean, do you think that these developers got the picture pretty quickly as to what type of beast this thing could become, as far as
Yeah.
burning is concerned?
Yeah. No, a lot of them did get the picture very quickly in the beginning when everybody was talking about it. But also that's actually a really interesting question, because I don't think many people saw my live stream with the Blaze team on their YouTube channel. Believe it or not, the Blaze team actually almost didn't launch on top of TitanX. They actually were about to say, you know what, maybe we shouldn't do this because TitanX was so inflationary for a period of time. And then they all got together and they just said, you know what, screw it. Let's just launch on top of it and build in this ecosystem. Let's bet on this ecosystem and see where it goes. So I think in the beginning, when everybody started talking about it and it was extremely popular, a lot of people loved TitanX. But then it got through that phase where a lot of tokens hit the market. Not many people were making that much money off of miners, and the inflation started setting in, and not many people were even talking about it on Twitter. And that was when, right in that period of time, that's when the Blaze team came in and jumped in and said, you know what, we're in this to win this. And same thing with Eric from Dragon X, and same thing with the dude that looks like Shaggy from Scooby Doo on the Helios team. He did the
Oh, the
same
dude
exact
guy.
thing.
Dude, okay.
And
Yeah.
then also TL Leaks, shout to that guy. He also said, you know what, man, I'm still going to jump in and still build on top of that. So right when I saw that, that's when I knew that you got a group of people that see a vision and they're willing to bet on something. And that's why, you know, we still talk about it to this day, because we never ever made money when things were easy. If something in life comes really easy, you shouldn't be doing it. Your life should be very difficult. You should always take the most difficult path in life, because number one, it's the most rewarding, and number two, there's a good chance good things will come of it. And so I really firmly believe that, God, rewards like winners and people that put him through stuff, and he has favors and stuff like that. And it's the same thing with this stuff with TitanX. And in my opinion, because there's such a difficult period of time, good times are going to be right around the corner. And the people who came in during the inflationary period and put projects out there are absolutely going to win it. Sorry, man. I went on absolute rant. Did you get all
No,
that?
that was good. I mean, and that's what I thought. I'm glad we have some time just to talk about TitanX, man, because it seems to me like what happened was you had this two parts, and you had these miners, and then you had which basically what stole the show. It seemed like it stole the shine from what was truly going to be important, which was, you had this. Everybody wanted price action, and when the price action started going down like this, everyone just completely forgot, I'd seen like about the mechanisms of what this thing was intended to be built. And so you had people running for these shiny objects within the miners and not really understanding that this was a huge burn protocol and that it was designed for synergy and to be built on top of. So I think that it's important that you mention that this wasn't necessarily about that quick buck from the miners. It was actually more so about people that were going to be seeing the vision, really ready to stick with it. And, the FUD came quickly. So anyone that did decide to hold through from the beginning to the FUD, through the FUD up until this point, I congratulate you. And I hope that, you get everything that's coming to you, because I know that those same rewards are going to be showing up on my doorstep.
Yeah, absolutely. And there, if you guys have been, yeah, I'm just going to take this off before we get back. And if you guys have been paying attention to what's going in the space, you can tell the people who stuck around, the people who dipped out. And I'm okay with anyone doing what they want to do, but just keep in mind that the ones that stay loyal to certain projects and they stick around, they stick with it. Those are the guys who can get rewarded, and those are going to be your hodlers and your diehard fans. Because one thing I noticed in this market is you do got degens, and don't get me wrong, me and Trey, man, we do degen a lot. We just don't promote a lot of our plays anymore on Twitter because it gets a little too out of hand. And the one thing I will say is when you have a community come up and they absolutely crushed it, and you have either a protocol or a meme coin, and they continue to rise, you're always going to get haters because that's a byproduct of success. But because you brought a whole community up with you, you have a die-hard fan loyal base that will ride with you to the deepest depths of hell, if that makes sense. That's probably a bad analogy, but you guys get the point of what I'm trying to get across. And so, ultimately, I'm excited to see what happens with TitanX. We got some big stuff coming down the road, and we're going to continue to cover it, whether it's once a week or bi-weekly or whatnot. But we're not going to keep talking about it every single day like we're beating a dead horse. You know what I'm saying? So overall, good stuff. Now, some other things I want to cover. I think that's good. I think that's all I really wanted to point out. Now, the last thing I want to say is when you guys get over here, you're gonna notice that the mintable amount of TitanX that's gonna come out, it's gonna go from 50 billions, and then you're gonna start to see like half a billion, 36 billion, 10 billion. It's gonna go down gradually. So another thing I'm excited for is when this histogram disappears, we're going to see a crazy future coming out. So awesome stuff. Now, the other thing I also want to point out, and I had this up before we got a matrix attack. Where's this? I thought he had his socials here or something. Okay. Well, I thought I had here. Bring up Titan. I think it's TitanX Hub. Yeah, TitanX Hub. So if you guys are ever interested in learning about these projects, the best place to come over to is TitanXHub.com. And right here, it has some awesome information. It talks about the amount of burn TitanX. It talks about each of these projects. So you have DragonX, Hyper, Helios, Baby DragonX. You have Blaze, you have the Inferno, and then you have all the future ones popping up. So right now, these are the OG protocols. And in the future, you're probably going to have a page of like 1,000 of these suckers all across the board. So yeah, it's gonna be looking pretty good. So cool. All right, man. Well, anything else on TitanX before we move on?
That's all I got for right now. It looks like we got 83 individuals in here right now, mostly probably Titan X Maxis. If you're a Titan X Maxi, shout out in the comments down below. Let us know you're a Titan X Maximalist and that you don't buy anything else except for time pays me. Shout out Adam.
Bro, I'm pretty sure we've given, oh man, we've probably given so much promo to Time Pays Me. Probably
so
like
much
it's almost every.
promo, so little buys.
I just say at this point they gotta sponsor us because of the amount of times Adam comes in here and just mentions it. So
Every day.
so good stuff. Shout out to Adam, man. All right, guys. Well, let's just get into it. Let's just take a look at price charts and get into the good stuff, the good stuff, the stuff that you guys care about the most. So what's going on with Bitcoin? So if you guys have been following us on in the past, we were talking about this cup and handle or inverse head and shoulders playing out, and it's actually playing out to a T right now. Overall, Bitcoin is just forming this pattern. We had a little bit of a red candle in the past, and then now we're coming back up, and we're going to try to come up and test 71K. And so the big thing I want to point out, and I probably point out on a past live stream, is when we were monitoring these price charts, and this was when we got hardcore into technical analysis. I kid you not. These little humps right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These were all news events. This one was something going on with Iran and Israel. Then we had Mt. Gox coming in saying they're dumping. Then we had Germany dumping their Bitcoin. And so for some reason, every time we get near this price line or like an all-time high in a trading range, a news event comes out. So as we approach 71K or 71.5, 71,500, I guarantee you there's either going to be something extremely bullish or extremely bearish. And I don't know what the news event is going to be, but that's the big thing that I'm looking at right now. And the reason why they do that is to liquidate short sellers and longs. It's their way of messing with leverage traders on centralized exchanges. And that's just from personal experience. But right now, the chart looks extremely bullish. I want to see it come up to 71K. And then we get our beautiful breakout, which is probably going to be about, let's see our breakout point. So this is an inverse head and shoulders. So our breakout target is going to be looking at about 80K. So if Bitcoin starts to do its thing and run once we hit that 71,500 price level, that's something to definitely expect in the future. As for a time frame, I don't typically do time frame on these price predictions, but this is an extremely bullish pattern. And overall, we tested a lot of these magnets in this range, and we're ready to rock and roll, man. So cool. And any thoughts on that?
All I know is you said they're. You said they're doing it, and I don't know who they is, but you know what? They need to stop and they need to pump it, baby. Pump that chart, baby. Oh, can we get much higher?
Dude, I kid you not, man. I kid you not. My family members think I'm crazy because they like to talk about news and politics. And I literally look at them like, let me look at the S&P 500. Let me look at the price of Bitcoin. I'll tell you the news. Like I said that this past weekend, and my uncle looked at me. He's like, "Dude, are you okay, man? Like is everything good?" That's how crazy it is. But overall, man, it's looking good. So a bearish case. Now, keep in mind, I want to give you guys a bearish case. So you do have a target for this next leg up if we perform the breakout. Now, bearish cases, if we come up here and touch here and something crazy happens or we get another breakdown, there's a good chance that we will probably have to come back down here and we'll touch at either 67K or 61K. 67K is a clear magnet that's been trading across the board. We have a inverse head and shoulders pattern right here. And then we have another, you can say that's a cup and handle, or you can say it's an inverse head and shoulders pattern. And it seems like at this price level at about 67K, That's actually a massive magnet for this period of time trading sideways. Now let's take a look at the weekly close, because we just had a weekly close, and look at that. If you guys were listening to us last time when we were talking about this stuff, one thing we were saying is we do not want to see any sort of doji for Bitcoin on the weekly. This closed out a little bit, like a bearish doji. But so this actually closed out. We got a nice little green candle. So this actually does seem extremely bullish, but it is a massive doji, so that might be a decrease in the amount of upside behind Bitcoin. So with this new candle coming in, if this were to come in and close, I don't want to see it go down below 63K. Otherwise, it's going to be extremely bearish. But if it goes down a little bit, that's still bullish on the weekly time frame. But obviously, the one scenario we want to see is this thing push up and try to come up here and test 71K. So if we get a green weekly close on this candle, that means the monthly close is going to be extremely bullish, and that means the next month is going to be really, really bullish as well. So I'm definitely excited. Now let's take a look at the monthly time frame, because
The monthlies, baby. The monthlies. Let's go.
yeah, so we got a monthly close in about 2 days. So if you guys have been following us, one thing we said, we come up and then we come down and come up, and we're just going to be trading sideways. Now, right now, we had an extremely bullish July. And the one thing I want to see over the next 3 days is we don't get a crazy breakdown to 62K, because if that's another red candle, there's a good chance that the next couple months be red. I want to see this thing absolutely close a lot higher than the previous open in June. And that will signify that we are getting very close to the parabolic phase of Bitcoin. So the monthly looks absolutely great, absolutely good. Just trading sideways. I mean, if you guys just zoom out real quick, honestly, it's just a massive like bull flag on the monthly. If you want to think about it hypothetically, I know I got a lot already, but if I just come right here and just trace the lines like this and like this right across the board, it's just a massive monthly flag. So we just come up here and just close on the monthly above 70K. That's definitely going to signify a breakout on the monthly time frame, which means next month, bro, it's going to be so explosive. So it looks really good. Any thoughts on that?
We've been right on point, man. We said it was going to heat up in June, and July is going to get really, really hot, and then August, shoot, it might blaze into an inferno in August. I know you see what I did there. Shout out
Yes.
Blaze Protocol.
Shout out to Blaze. Cool. And then
Yeah, it's getting hot, bro. They're looking real nice. That the monthly is the chart been wanting to look at all day. So thanks for sharing.
yeah, man. So now we're getting the start of the 3 monthly. So actually, the 3 monthly is actually looking really, really good. So we've got September and October. So I believe it's July. No, we're in August, right? So July, August, September. So this is going to be our 3 monthly time frame. So in our last 3 monthly time frame, we absolutely exploded. Then we had a little bit of a breakdown. Now on the 3 month, this could be a bad doji, which means we go down, but we're closing a little bit higher so far on the 3 month. And so if this 3 month comes up and closes higher, breaks all-time highs, that means we're going to get very close to the parabolic phase. So from a 3 monthly time frame, things look extremely bullish, and we're getting to the really best part of the market. So good stuff on that. All right. Awesome. Any more thoughts on Bitcoin before I move to the next chart?
Well, that's it. I just want to get these folks in here liking and hitting, smashing that subscribe button, hitting that like button. We got 86. I want to try to get 100 people in here. So please smash that thing and share that Twitter link for me.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Bitcoin dominance. Let's go.
Favorite part of the session, baby.
All right. So here's what I'm looking at Bitcoin dominance. We're trying to figure out when altcoin season. The theory is, and I'm not going to go through and explain it, but when we break down and we see dominance go like this, that's when altcoins are going to start skyrocketing. That's what we're looking for. Now, here's something that we've been tracking for a minute. Why do I keep doing that? Gets a lot with the 400 weekly moving average. Now, the theory was this green line, I know it's on the death cross, but I like this because we have the 100 and the 400 weekly moving average on the same chart, and they give you a limit on how many of these you can put up. So with the 400 weekly moving average coming down here, coming across, we had a test, but then touch came down. We touched it and then broke down, and we came back up, broke higher this past week, and now we're starting to get a breakdown and maybe getting a test right here. So there's one of two things that this tells me. Number one, this might not be the best indicator when it comes to determining when altcoin season is, and we start to get that breakdown. But also, number two, we had to verify that. So typically, one thing you want to see is 2 candles for a complete verification. So with this next weekly close, if this is a little bit higher, or if it closes anywhere above the the 400 weekly moving average, then you need to start paying attention to the 100-month moving average, which we'll show you in a second. So overall, just want to show that. Now, let's get to the 100-month moving average. And so this is where I'm really, really excited. This thing is shooting down like crazy right here. It's going up, and we are starting to see it at about 58% for this month. And then we got the monthly close in 3 days or 2 days, 3 days, whatever. When this chart comes up and touches the 100 monthly moving average, and it might be a long wick. It doesn't have to be an open or a close, just a wick, come up, touch it. That's when we're going to start to see a massive breakdown. So it could come up here for this month, and then boom, breakdown altcoin season. And so the theory is whenever this line intersects with this line right here, that's when we're going to start to see this massive breakdown. And let me adjust this line real quick. So right here, boom. So when we get an intersection from this line coming down and this line coming down, then boom, Bitcoin dominance breaks down, and that's when we start to see altcoin season. So the main thing to pay attention to right now is the 100 monthly moving average. This thing is shooting down so quickly. And once that line touches, that is when you're going to get your 100, 1,000 X's, 10,000 X's left and right. And that is the time where you're going to see a lot of people become millionaires out of the blue. You're going to see TitanX absolutely explode. You're going to see Pulse Chain explode. You're going to see whatever project you like that has a great community explode. Trace Souls, any thoughts?
So you're telling me that there's a convergence that's happening on this 100 monthly moving average that's different than the 400 weekly, and that the 400 weekly has been tested multiple times and we're still going up. So you taught everyone and me here at this channel about this here, didn't you? Did you teach us this tool?
Yes, sir.
Thank you for showing us this tool over a month and a half ago. This is definitely on point, and I feel like you're getting a very accurate depiction of what's going on. So continue to watch for that convergence, folk. And then let's look at the swing low one more time, just so we can show them.
Yeah, I gotcha. For the weekly or the monthly?
Do the on the monthly.
Okay, so the swing low on the monthly. All right, I got to delete this. So confirmation that we're going to break down. Well, what do you mean by the swing low?
Or try it on the weekly. I just want them to know the confirmation, like you're saying.
For the breakdown on the monthly, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing we need to see is this is going to keep moving on. So we got August and September, and this line is going to continue to come down, right? So once we see that touch happen, it's probably going to be a confirmation. You're probably going to be looking at the bottom of this candle, depending where it closes out. So if you see the dominance go below 54% or probably 53%, then that's going to be a great indicator that altcoin season is going to start. Does that make sense?
Yep, that's exactly what I was curious of. Nice work.
Cool. Yeah, man. So it's actually looking really, really good. I'm really, really excited to see this play out, man. And we're almost getting there, man. So like I said, pay attention to 100 monthly moving average, because all these other guys are going to be looking at their Bitcoin altcoin season index indicator, fear and greed index. Not a single one of those things were accurate. I think this is going to be one of the most accurate forecasters for when altcoin season starts. And then there's also going to be a couple other things which we're going to show you as well. So really exciting stuff. Now, let's get into the total market cap. And I'm really excited to show you guys something cool. Another awesome indicator of something big that's also about to happen, which is also another indicator that we're about to get through the banana phase or the parabolic phase behind the entire market. Now, if you guys come over here to the total crypto market cap as a whole, this brings in every single project and the total market cap. Now, if you guys turn on a moving average, it's called the 50 and the 200 moving the 50 weekly moving average and actually no, we got to go in the daily. I'm sorry, not the weekly. So, if you guys go to the 50 daily moving average and the 200 simple moving average and you turn them on, you'll see these two red lines. This red line and this green line. This red line is the 50 simple moving at 50-day simple moving average, or SMA. So I don't know why I keep saying the long part. And this green line is the 200-day SMA. Now, there's something called a golden cross. When you have the 50 and the 200 touch and cross, that's going to signify a pump to the upside. Now, I'll give you guys some examples of this happening in the past. So let's just start off in the 2017 bull market. I don't know if you can even see in the 2017 bull market. I might have to do the next one. Let's see. All right, let's go to the other one. This one's gonna be a little. All right, let's go to this next one right here. So after we got out of this bull market, we had the 50-day estimate come down, and then we had the 200-day estimate come up, and they cross. Right there, right when they cross, that means the price is going to go down. That's typically signified as a death cross, and then price goes down. Now, when they come back across and they cross again, that means there's going to be another pump. And so when you have the 50 move above the 200, that's going to signify another pump, and then boom to the upside. Now, one thing that we saw in this past bear market is right before we had that cross happen that I talked to you about that signifies a pump called the golden cross. This happened right around on May 20th, 2020, and that led to a massive pump to the upside that peaked out right around May 12th and then came back down. And so right when it came back down, it crossed back over and then came back up, and then we had another golden cross. That's why so many people got confused on the double top, because when we hit the first golden cross and we came back down and then we hit the second golden cross, people like Ben Armstrong, all the mainstream crypto channels are screaming, we're going to 100K, we're going to 100K, we're going to 100K. And this was their number one indicator of this happening. And so this came up. I think Bitcoin hit, what was it, like 67K top or something?
Like 68, 69K?
Yeah, it was like 68, 69, and came back down. Then we got the death cross, and then boom, all the way back down to into the bear market. Now, since this market has started, we had a couple times where the simple moving averages cross, and the last big time where it crossed, where we had a violent price to the upside, was right here on November 4th, 2023. When we got a golden cross, this thing absolutely just exploded on the daily. Now, here's something really, really crazy, dude. You ready for this?
Yes. This is nice.
We're about to get another touch, which means there's a good chance that we are going to see another explosion to the upside for the entire crypto altcoin market cap. Yes, sir. So
would you think that this is more privy to happen before we touch the 100 monthly moving average?
for Bitcoin dominance?
Yeah, would you think that this golden cross would happen before the 100 monthly moving average in altcoin season?
I think the 100 monthly moving average will probably touch, and then actually, I think the golden cross might do it first. I need to look. That's a great question. I actually don't know the answer to that question,
I
but
think that I'm tending to guess, like kind of hypothesize towards that way too, but maybe something we can come back to. So that's why I was curious.
yeah. So we're starting to see, another cross, and then we're going to start to see another reprice to the upside. And so the reason why I bring this up specifically is because everybody on Twitter is screaming golden cross, golden cross, golden cross. Now, I do firmly believe Bitcoin dominance is going to be the best indicator for when altcoin season starts. But also on top of that, you got to look at other things to verify your thesis. And in my opinion, if you got more pieces of information, it's going to paint a better picture for your prediction for the future. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, man.
Yeah. So yeah, man, we got the golden cross coming up, especially on the daily. So if these things touch or cross or whatnot, we're going to see a violent appraisal to the upside. Now, as to when that's going to happen, that's a big question. It could be next month. It could be in 2 months. But when that happens, that's when we're going to start to see things run. And that actually kind of falls in line with what we predict with Bitcoin dominance. So I think it's just verifying what we're seeing with the 100 monthly moving average, if you know what I'm saying.
Yep, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Is it looks real like it may converge at very similar times or one right after the other. So very interesting to note.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good stuff. All right. Now the other thing I want to point out here, and this is going to be our last thing before we get into all of our other altcoin choice. So this is the others market cap, and this is basically all the market cap of all the coins that we're in that we've been tracking. Was this one? Hold on. Make sure I got the right one. No. What about this one? Let's see. 100. Give me 1 second. Let me turn on the monthly. Yes, this is what we're looking for. All right, cool. So I'll look at the others dominant based on a percentage right now. So this is the percentage of altcoins that make up the entire market cap that are excluding the top 10 altcoins across crypto. So this doesn't include Bitcoin, it doesn't include Ethereum, it doesn't include Solana, and all those major market caps. So these are the coins that most of you guys are in. This is where you're trying to get your 100 or 1000x. Now, one thing that I saw on the monthly, and since we keep talking about 100 monthly moving averages, and this is this red line right here. The last time we touched the 100 monthly moving average for this chart specifically, right here, this thing absolutely exploded. It went to the upside, and we saw the explosion of a lot of these altcoins and these meme coins. Now, the one thing I want to point out is we're getting another retest of that line. And so if this thing comes down and touches it, what do you think is going to happen?
It's gonna do the same exact thing, man. It's gonna skyrocket at least another 66%, if not more, since it's sitting at a higher high or a
Yep.
higher low, is what I mean.
Yeah, that's a very that's a very good point. So we got a higher low coming across, and then boom. So this is actually falling in line where this thing can come across for a little bit right here, and then we might get some sort of candle coming down next month or the month after, and then touch it, and then boom. So I think the main point I'm trying to say is when altcoin season happens, and we gave you guys 3 pieces of information, we didn't stick with one, and we didn't use the altcoin season index, and we didn't use the Bitcoin fear and greed index because those tend to be wrong about everything. We showed you on the chart. Bitcoin dominance is saying that we're probably going to get a touch on the 100 monthly moving average sometime next month or the month after. The golden cross is expected to happen sometime next month or the month after. And then on this chart specifically, when we hit that 100 monthly moving average and exploded, we're seeing it happen again as a retest. And so, in my opinion, that's going to happen in a month or 2 months. So, what does that tell me? Altcoin season is most likely going to be happening this fall, baby. So, let's go, man. You excited?
Yeah, it seems like no predictions or any financial advice, but maybe 4 to 8 weeks out from some major stuff happening. So keep on it, keep prepared, keep tuning into the verse and watching, guys, because once this thing happens, we're gonna be glued to it. They're not gonna have enough Celsius at the store to keep me awake during this period of time because all I'm gonna be doing is looking for that red button, baby. Where do I get out? How do I get out? I'm running for the hills. I quit. It's all over.
Yes, sir. I love it, man. I love it. So good stuff. So, all right, man. Well, we do need to run through some of these altcoins real quick because I did promise that we're going to do it. I know we're at like an hour. So, I'm going to do this really, really quickly. Give you guys a brief breakdown of all of our coins in our portfolio. Well, not really all of our, well, the main coins in our portfolio, and just talk about what we're seeing going on. So, starting off with Teddy Bear. So Teddy Bear looks like it's just trading sideways. We did see a nice inverse head and shoulders pattern, but it did break down on the daily, and we had a massive wick down that came down here, and it's basically just trading sideways. So one thing that I'm seeing with Teddy Bear is we're not going to see any sort of crazy pump until Pulse Chain moves. It's about $6 million market cap. And so we're basically trading sideways at a magnet right around 7 zeros and a 13. And in my opinion, these two lines that I drew out right here, it's going to be your box of opportunity just coming all the way across. And so when it comes to Teddy Bear, it's a lot of burned liquidity. So these things do trade in waves. Teddy Bear does like descending triangles. And we're starting to see this thing start to trade sideways. And it seems like the Entropy ecosystem is getting ready to boot up. So good stuff. Anything on Teddy Bear?
Yep, guys, it's hard to chart it out and just recognize what it does. If you recognize what it does, you'll realize why it's hard to chart out and why you're holding it. So hold that thing, look at that box of opportunity, and study.
Good stuff. All right, let's take a look at PDI.
Ooh, the MACD.
Yeah, let's take a look at the MACD. All right, so came across here. Let's take a look. So last time this came up, touched here, exploded, came back down. Now this moving average coming here, and then we're at about right here. So from what I'm seeing, if this touches, this might mean PDI has to go a little bit lower, which means this could come down and touch 0.015, or it might come down here to, man, I got a lot of lines going on right now. I gotta start cleaning up my charts, man. This game pretty ridiculous. So we got magnet right here we're trading at. So let's just put it right here. So let me look at the RSI before I make this claim. Yeah, so the RSI is showing that. Yeah, so we might have to go down a little bit, which means there's potential where we come down here and touch 2 zeros and a 1.5, and worst case scenario, come down here and touch 3 zeros and a 7.6. So that's actually an extremely healthy retest of these levels of support. And then once we start to see an increase in the pulse chain volume, that's when we'll come back up here and start testing these higher levels. And we definitely do have a couple of magnets. So overall, man, just like Teddy Bear, PDI is just trading sideways. Not much volume on pulse chain, and just waiting for pulse chain to pump. So that's about it, man. Cool. Let's talk about Linda, our girl Linda, baby. So what's going on with Linda? All right, so Linda had an absolute awesome blow off top. I love this token's on the Lina network. It's our pick as one of the top meme coins in the layer 2 space. Yeah, we'll keep that magnet. Let's get rid of this one. Got too many lines coming across here. So what am I seeing with Linda? We basically came up, and when I see a head and shoulders came down, and now we're trading at about 4 zeros and a 2189, and we're just trading sideways. So it's definitely evident that the sellers have been exhausted. There's a good chance that we come into this box of opportunity and trade sideways between 4 zeros and a 1 and 4 zeros and a 2-2. Depending on what happens with the market and if we start to see more volume, more liquidity come in, One thing I want to see with Linda is it will come down here in this box opportunity, trade sideways, and then finally come back up. We got to come up here, test 3 zeros and a 3-9. Probably have to touch it, retrace, come back up here and touch 4 zeros and a 5. So in my opinion, right now is the best time to get into Linda if you so choose to. And this is a meme coin that you want on the Lina network because sellers have been exhausted. It's going to be trading sideways for a minute, and it's getting prepared for its next leg up. So overall, man, it actually looks pretty good, and it has a little bit of a trend line coming across as well. So yeah, that is Linda. Scrolly. I feel like we talk about this thing like every other live stream. So I'm gonna keep this one extremely brief. Scrolly on the Scroll Network. Love this token. Extremely bullish chart. Beautiful structure across the board. So, we came up. It looked like we're forming a little bit of a cup and handle, and it just came back down. So what I'm seeing with Scrolly is we got this massive trend line coming across. And this is almost just a massive ascending triangle coming in. So I'll get rid of this line just right here. So we have like an ascending triangle. It's going to continue to come in here and trade. And then sooner or later, it's going to break out, whether it's to the upside or to the downside. Ascending triangles tend to be bullish. So once we break out this ascending triangle, we'll come up here, test all-time highs, and then see you later. So overall, man, Scrolly, extremely bullish chart. Looks absolutely beautiful. And what's the market cap? 2.3 million. I'm curious to see the weekly. Yeah, dude, the weekly looks even better, dude. Like, look at that. Let's look at the monthly. Oh my god, dude, look at the monthly. Okay, so the monthly, I will say one thing. If this comes out, so this has been tested, so all magnets on the monthly have been tested. Let's look at the weekly. So that's been tested, this has been tested, that's been tested. All right, let me check the 3-day. This has been tested, that's been tested, that's been tested. All right, so yeah, so the one thing I'll say about Scrolly, well, number one, the monthly. We got the monthly close in a couple days, so this is going to be really big for a lot of these charts, but we don't want this to be a doji, especially. If this is a doji, that's going to be extremely scary for the Scrolly on the monthly time frame. But looking at all the other time frames, these little magnets that I always draw out?
Mm-hmm.
Scrolly has every single magnet tested on every single time frame, which means if someone were to buy a top, they had the opportunity to get out. If someone were to buy, well, we'll say like they bought a good position and it came back down, and they had the opportunity to buy more. And so what that means is when this chart gets moving, it's going to move very quickly because of all those magnets have been tested. So in my opinion, dude, Scrolly out of all the charts is extremely bullish. So
very little resistance to the upside.
Yeah, the only resistance to that upside is the all-time high, which you always get that minor correction coming in. So there's nothing you can do about that. All right. Andy on blast, baby. Let's freaking go. Always bullish on Andy. I love the blast chain. Shout out to Pac-Man. Such a good dude. So what's going on with Andy on blast? So we started to go into our wave 3, and this thing just broke down after the blast airdrop. And now we're trading sideways at about 13 cents. And we're in this box of opportunity that I told you guys about. It was between 17 cents and 13 cents. So
that's what you said last week.
So on the downside, and this is within the realm of possibility, I'm not gonna sit here and be a moon boy to you guys, but if we were to go lower, the lowest we would probably realistically go would be about 8 cents, I would say. Yeah, about 8 cents. If we were to go lower, I'm not saying we are. But within this box opportunity, it's going to trade sideways. And then once things start cooking back up, this thing will come back up. Potentially what I want to see it do is come up here, touch 32 cents. And do something like this, come up, touch it, and then it's got to come back down, form a nice little cup and handle, come here, and then just W on out and see you later. So right now with Scrolly, it's got to continue to trade sideways, find a nice little price level, and then after the consolidation period, it's got to pop up. But I would be extremely wary with Andy because if it hits that 7 cent price target, that'll be either a great chance to load up or yeah. So I'll just leave it at that. Crash. Shout out to Crash. I love this community. Dude, this is like the loudest community on Twitter. Crash. I love Crash, man. This
Is
is
this our
actually
first time? Is this our first time covering Crash?
I don't know. I think I drew a bunch of stuff on it, so I don't know.
This might be brand new alpha for these guys. I
Okay.
think it's just new alpha.
All right. Well, if you guys haven't been well, yeah, well, on our Twitter, if you guys ever want to get our latest calls, we put everything on Twitter and then you come over your YouTube and then we're going to start putting more stuff on YouTube first, then putting it on to Twitter so that our loyals can get the info before all the other haters on Twitter and whatnot. But Crash, it's basically a tribute coin to the influencer Crash, and the idea is this is going to be a leverage play off of Brett. It's a play on the base chain, and it was started by a developer named Dicey. So one thing that happened with this coin is we had a inverse head and shoulders right here, and that looked really bullish. You can make that a case for a cup and handle. And basically, right in this section right here, we came up and right when we touched here, we broke down. So we got rejected from the inverse head and shoulders pattern, which is not bad. You know, when you see a bullish pattern, it's an indicator that's going to go up, but it's not a guarantee. And that's just how TA works. That's why I give you guys 2 to 3 price targets because not one price target is going to be guaranteed. So this thing came back down. We're trading at a magnet right around about 9 to 10 cents. So what are some things to expect for Crash? So it's probably going to consolidate a little bit for right now. If it were to go any lower, and I'm just saying any lower, the only reasonable place it could go, and I'm not saying it will, is probably down here to about 0.001976. I don't think it's going to go that low, but there is a little bit of a magnet here just based on the TA chart. So that is the extreme bearish case. And in my opinion, I don't think that's going to happen, but that does exist. But what I want to see this do is consolidate for a little bit and then start coming up here. We need to test out 2 cents and then come back up here and test out about 2 to 3 cents. And then from there, we can start going to the next leg up. Now, let me look at the daily time frame. Daily time frame. I mean, this also looks like just a massive descending triangle across the board, to be honest with you. Yeah, this is just a nice descending triangle, and it could break out very soon. So, cool. Now, let's look at the weekly 3-day. 3-day tested. So yeah, there's a magnet right here. That's gonna have to happen here. And then let's take a look at the weekly. Came up here. Boom. Tested. Boom. Yeah. So cool. Yeah, man. Overall, Crash is looking good. You know, just trading sideways, consolidating, getting ready for its next leg up. So, and then let's do Omikami. So Omikami was interesting. If you guys were here this past weekend, the crew hit me up and a whale sold. Look at that. A whale sold this down to about 16 cents. So that's pretty
ate right up.
Yeah, this thing got eaten up like crazy. So it's sitting at about 3 cents. And to be honest, this just looks like the rest of the charts. You know, a lot of the charts they basically have this huge hump right like this, and then they're coming back down. And then they're just in this consolidation period. So what this tells me is a lot of people are just holding and they're typically trading at like a range. So it's going to be between 3 cents and then it's going to be between 2 cents. I wonder if I got like a little channel I can do. Like, no. Oh, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. Is there like a little channel tool? I know they have them. Take a look real quick before I. It's probably parallel channel. Let's see. Let's see if this will do it. Yeah. So basically, what a lot of these charts are doing is you got like this parallel channel right here, and they just come in and they just trade sideways, and then they get ready for their next leg up. And then when they get through their next leg up, they have a bunch of magnets they need to test out. So, for example, Omikami is probably going to be trading in between these two, and then it has to come back up here. It needs to test out. I want to see it come out and test 6 cents, bounce off of that, and then come up here and test 10 cents, which put out $100 million market cap, and then we can go up and test out 1 billion. So overall, man, it looks pretty good. This is also a beautiful looking chart, dude. This is crazy. And what's great about this wick is we actually came down here and tested one of the previous all-time highs, which means we tested all we tested all the magnets on all time frames, and we're clear to go to the upside and ready to rock and roll. So yeah, man, looking pretty good.
That
Cool.
thing has got insane hockey sticks, bro. Like that thing is just a hockey stick chart all the way throughout.
Yeah, like right here.
2,
Boom.
3, 4. There's
Yeah.
4 of them on there. 5, 6 almost really. Man, that's crazy.
I can see this thing going to like $10, dude. Honestly. So yeah, man. So all right, man. Well, that's all I got for today. So you got anything else?
Jam packed live, right at them, in your face, uncensored, unfiltered, raw. That's how we do it here at the Boost, man. Thanks for tuning in today. Kris said that's all he's got for you. I ain't got nothing else for your head. Go do something, eat dinner, hang out with your family. I'm gonna go do something else. Peace.